Number one, never take cheating lightly. It's almost kind of like that saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. My wife and I have always kind of lived by the whole statement, the whole concept of once a cheater, always a cheater. Now don't get me wrong, God can always do a new work in somebody. He can always transform someone from the inside out, but that person has to be willing to change. They have to be willing to completely transform not just themselves, but their entire lifestyle. They got to set up new boundaries, new standards in their life. And so you as an individual, as a man, if you've ever been cheated on and you are still with that person, I would just say be very, very cautious. Don't be so quick to just get back into that relationship with somebody. You have to really analyze. You got to really see that person, see the type of lifestyle changes that they're actually making within their life before you just welcome them on back in. I know for me, on a personal note, bro, like I have so much work to do. I got so many projects and things that I'm working on in this empire that I'm trying to build. So the great thing about my wife and I's relationship, we have such a healthy, fruitful marriage, and we're each other's best friends, bro. And we truly know deep down that we've got each other's backs no matter what. I know 110% that my wife's gonna be faithful, and then she knows that 110% I'm gonna be faithful. So having that kind of now just out of our minds, not even like having to worry about that, allows her to live so much more of a free life. Like we never have to have that thing in the back of our minds, like, almost having like eyes in the back of our head, wondering, oh, is that person, are they being faithful? And, having to second guess that. We don't have to deal with that. And so that allows, especially me, to be 110% focused on my work. I don't have to worry about any infidelity, any unfaithfulness. Now, that's not to say to never keep up any boundaries or any standards, right? I think we talked about this in a previous video. Always have those boundaries. Even if you know that person is going to be faithful to you, you always just do it out of respect for one another. Like Bree's not going to take advantage of that trust that I have for her, and she's not going to just go out every weekend and just have girls' night outs all the times, right? Going to clubs. Of course not. Even though I know she would still be faithful, even despite that, still, we're not even going to leave those little windows of opportunities open. There's that certain level of respect that we both mutually have for each other. And so going back to what I was saying, you as a man, if you're dealing with some sort of cheating, infidelity, if you've been cheated on, just proceed with caution. A person doesn't just change out of the blue just one day, just say, oh, I'm a whole new person today than I was yesterday. This kind of stuff, it takes time. So you got to really look at that person, that woman, look at her fruits, look at the way she's living her lifestyle. If she says that she's truly changed or she wants to change, okay, let's first see what kind of lifestyle changes you're making. What are you doing to safeguard yourself, to safeguard this relationship then? Show me that you've actually transformed. Don't just tell me you want to transform, and things from here on out is going to be different, I promise. Other than that, my dude, you have no business getting back with a chick who has cheated on you unless, she's making those adjustments. Maybe she deletes her Instagram so that way there's no more contact with random men on the internet. Maybe she stops 100% doing girls' night outs without you. She stops going out clubbing, going to all these places where single men are constantly on the prowl. These are the type of stuff you need to have your eyes on. It's like a china plate, bro. If you drop a china plate and it breaks, you can put those pieces back together. But if you drop it again and it breaks again, okay, you can put the pieces back together again, but it's just not gonna look right. You can't do it, but then you break it again. Eventually you keep breaking it. It's gonna be in such little pieces and it's gonna be so shattered, you can't put that china plate back together. There's no way in hell. And that's the same thing of how a relationship works. So the best way to prevent that is to stop putting the freaking china plate on the edge of a table, on the edge of a cabinet, where it can so easily just fall again. You need to safeguard it. You need to safeguard your relationship if you do decide to get back with the girl who has cheated on you. She needs to show that she is making the necessary changes so she never falls into temptation again. Number 2, never let anyone disrespect you, especially if you are a young man. A lot of where I live, there's a lot of older gentlemen, and they like to disrespect me because they just think I'm young. They think I'm like a punk or something like that until they actually talk to me, right? But every once in a while I have a dude who comes at me sideways, and it's hard, right? Especially for us younger men, it's hard not to react. It's hard not to attack back, right? We got that adrenaline that starts going, all that testosterone, and sometimes things can become atomic, right? And we can't let it get to that state. However, at the same time, you also just can't let anybody, I don't care what age, you can't let them walk all over you. So there's a way that you got to come about it, and you got to be cool, calm, and collected. I had this dude come at me sideways at the gym who wanted to use my machine that I was on because he thought I was taking a little too long on it. He said something rude to me, and my first initial reaction, inside my blood was boiling, but I just knew, I took a deep breath. I was like, I gotta keep cool. The best thing you can do is, instead of react, you look at him, you stand up, you extend your hand and say, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. My name's Dre. Introduce yourself. He introduces himself. Give each other handshakes. So now there's a little bit more mutual respect. He kind of sees where you stand. You're holding your ground. You kind of keep your chest up, right? You stay calm. You have your energy in your nuts. You're standing up now, kind of looking at him eye to eye. And now he knows that he can't just overpower you and dominate you. Like, there is a level of mutual respect. And so you say to him, hey, I see that you want to use this machine. I'm going to be off in about 2 minutes from now. Once I'm done with this set, it's all yours. So that way he knows, hey, I'm not leaving this machine, but I do have enough respect for you that once I'm done, I'll let you know, and then it's all yours, bro. No worries. And so this shows that you're not disrespecting him whatsoever, but it also shows that he can't just come over and overpower you and disrespect you. And now by doing that, by taking that route, going the high road, now I'm able to walk around that gym with my head held a little higher. Now there's mutual respect. The last thing you want to do is cause war. The last thing you want to do is have people fighting, you know, like being all bitter between each other in the gym. That's just so childlike. And so by going that route, that's the masculine route. That's the manly route. You cause peace, not war. And at the same time, he has respect for you. You have respect for him, somewhat. I mean, I don't know if I still respect that guy who said that to me, but at least he has respect for me now, right? And now this kind of leads me into number 3, which this is something I just started doing this last year. I'd never done it up until this point, and this is such a crucial thing. This is like a little tiny hack that it boosts your personality, makes you have a more stronger presence, and like they say, you know, impressions last a lifetime. That first impression is such a big deal. And so number 3 is never shake someone's hand sitting down. This is almost like borderline disrespectful. And I've noticed when I'm like at the gym or something and my dad, he's talking to some other guy and he introduces me, hey, this is my son Dre. I've noticed there's a big difference from when I used to. I would sit there and I'd look up and be like, oh, hey, what's up, I'm Dre, and shake their hand, versus when someone's being introduced to me, I actually stand up. Out of my seat, I stand up, I look at them eye to eye, and then I go in for the shake. That right there is much more respectful. It's much more gentlemanlike. You're giving off a more masculine presence, a presence of authority versus just sitting down, looking up and shaking their hand. And that also kind of puts you like in a weak spot as well. Like, you're sitting there looking up to somebody shaking their hand. That's just almost like kind of like peasant-like. What you want to do is show yourself worthy, show your confidence, right? And the best way to do that is to stand up. Don't say sitting down. Get up off your lazy ass and actually introduce yourself. And then that, of course, goes along with giving them a firm handshake as well. You can't really do the firm handshake thing and show your authority by just staying on your ass. Number 4, never go broke trying to impress people. Now, there's this quote a while back that really stuck with me that I've always loved, and it said, if the whole world was blind, how many people would you actually impress? Too many people these days, bro, like, they're spending money on things that they don't even want to try to impress people that they don't even like.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
And I used to do this all the time myself, bro, until I realized that when this life is done, when my time here on earth has ran out, what's actually gonna go with me into the afterlife? Ain't no materialistic things are gonna go with me. Ain't no clothes, ain't no possessions, ain't none of that stuff gonna go with me. In fact, it's just gonna get passed on to somebody else, to some other knucklehead who's just trying to impress the next man. But the one thing that will go with me is my soul, first of all, and then the one thing that I will leave behind that people will remember is my legacy, my footprint, the impact that I had on people's lives. That's the only thing that's gonna be remembered. Now, ain't, oh, Dre, oh, he had like this Fear of God hoodie, dude. It was so sick, dude. No one's gonna remember that. People are gonna remember what I said in these videos, how that little nugget of information, that one thing Dre said, oh, that always stuck with me, bro. That one thing he said truly impacted my life, bro, and therefore I was able to go out. I was able to live a powerful life. I was able to build up my own legacy. I was able to build up a strong family and build up a relationship with Christ. You know, that's the type of stuff that people are gonna remember about me. And that's the same exact stuff that people are going to remember about you. And to me, bro, that right there, that's more impressive than anything. That's the stuff that's actually going to stick with people. So, hey, look, if you're really trying to impress somebody, like if you really care that much, that's the way you go. That's the route that you want to take. What kind of effect will you have on people? What kind of legacy are you going to leave behind? Number 5, always have the drive to do more, to do better. Too many men these days, they think that, oh, you know, they get complacent. I think I'm good with where I'm at, right? I'm just gonna kind of like do me, and I'm I'm happy with where I'm at. You know, I'm content. And it's like, no, you're not content. You are complacent. And the problem with complacency is you're not actually just staying where you're at. You're not in maintenance mode like most people believe. No, you're actually steadily dying. You're withering away. This is what happened to me for many of years, bro. I thought I was like in this maintenance mode. I thought I was doing just enough just to get by, but in actuality, I was slowly dying. My businesses were slowly dying. My relationships were slowly dying. And then it just kind of all hits you like a ton of bricks one day. You wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, everything is up in flames. And it's not that it just happened that one day all of a sudden when you woke up. It's actually that everything was slowly dying and withering away over time. It's just, it takes one day to really wake up and be like, whoa, what happened? And then you retrace your steps and you see, oh yeah, I was just being complacent. I wasn't doing what I needed to do as a man. I had no ambition after all these years. I had no drive. That's why my wife isn't attracted to me anymore. That's why our marriage is failing. That's why, and I'm just saying this in general, not that this is happening to me, but that's why, yeah, my businesses are failing. That's why I have no friends. That's why my kids don't respect me anymore. See, it's just these little decisions that you make, and then gradually over the years, it's like a big giant snowball effect. All of a sudden you wake up one day and your life is just this one big giant problem, and that's simply because you never had ambition over those years. You never had drive. You never had purpose. You never had any kind of aim, any kind of direction for your life. That's why we say here on this channel, you need to get 1% better every single day. It's not about doing something big and momentous all the time, doing this big giant life change. It's just about having just steady, small improvements day by day, having that ambition, having that direction for your life, just little by little, right? And then one day you wake up and you either got this one big problem or you have this one big legacy. You have this one big triumph. Number 6, always protect who is behind you and respect who is ahead of you. At all costs, my brother, like this self-improvement journey, what is it truly about? Is it truly about ourselves and just progressing to build up all of our empire and build up all of, just maximize me? Of course not. I mean, that's like that's the groundwork, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, it's about lending a hand to the next man, helping those behind you. And that's what our mission truly is, bro. It's about protecting them. It's about protecting those that are lesser than us. And I heard this the other day from Jonathan Majors. He's the kind of like the villain in Creed 3. He was talking about masculinity and he said, the most unmasculine thing you can do is emasculate others. And I feel like so many men do that these days. Men who want to be more powerful, who want to be more masculine. They put on this persona, I'm the best, I'm top G, everyone else is weaker than me, everyone else is peasants. And they put themselves up on this pedestal, and that's actually the most emasculating thing you can do, is trying to emasculate other men. It's kind of like a paradox, right? So what you want to do, what's going to help you become more of a leader, is actually to become more of like a servant. It's like me here on this channel. Me being the leader, I'm here to serve you guys on a daily basis. I'm here to lend my hand back so that way I can get you up on my level, so that way we can see eye to eye. I don't want to just kind of keep you guys in back of me all the time. No, I want to see you guys at least get on my level, if not, be ahead of me. That's how I become the best version of me. It's not me just always staying ahead. It's me taking you guys and bringing you up with me, helping you guys achieve even better results than me. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, which is something we don't see these days, is having that respect for the people ahead of us, for our elders. I saw this video a couple years ago, bro, and this is a prime example of what you don't do. It was a Lil Uzi Vert, I think his name is, and he was in this interview and he was disrespecting Lil Wayne, the legend, the guy that's ahead of him. Lil Wayne is in the position that Lil Uzi Vert wants to be in. Well, he thinks he's in that position. He thinks he's on that level, but he's not. He's not even freaking close. He doesn't even hold a flame to Lil Wayne. And I'm sure you can't agree on this. If you don't agree on this, then the frick, bro? Anyways, that kind of like makes me question you a little bit. Nah, but just playing. But check this out. The last thing, if you're in a similar position, the last thing you want to do is ever show disrespect to someone that is ahead of you, or that's just older than you in general. They've been on this planet more years than you have. They might have a little bit more knowledge than you. And so Lil Uzi Vert in this interview, he said, oh, Lil Wayne, that guy, he's old. That's what he said. That's the kind of respect he was showing to Lil Wayne, the legend. Oh, he's old. And that right there, that made me personally lose all respect for Lil Uzi Vert. Not that I was like listening to him before then, but especially after that. I never gave that guy any time of day, any chance, any streams, any nothing after that. And you gotta play it smart too, man, as a man, you know? If you wanna really rank up in this world, you really wanna go up in like that kind of just natural hierarchy of society, you need to show respect to your elders. You want to climb to the top, you need to make sure that the top has your respect. Number 7, if you are not invited, do not ask to go. Now, sorry to break it to you, my brother, but if you are not specifically asked, if you are not specifically invited at some place at some certain time, you are more than likely you're not welcomed. You are not wanted, and that's okay. That's nothing to take personal whatsoever. In fact, if you do the opposite, if you try to force your way in there and invite yourself and try to squeeze your way in there, that'll make them not even want you to come even that much more. So if your goal is to be invited to certain things or certain events or to be a part of certain cliques or communities, squeezing your way in there trying to infiltrate is the worst way to go, because then you'll be just that much more unwanted. No one wants someone that's just gonna constantly force their way in. The best thing you can do is just play it cool, play it calm, chill, because that's what people like. People like chill people, right? So the more chill that you act, the more you just accept things for how they are, people will start to realize, oh, you know what? That guy Dre, he's actually pretty chill. You know, yeah, actually invite him, because he's a chill dude. But if you did the opposite, if you're always trying to squeeze your way in there, you're gonna be like, oh, dude, that guy Dre, he's just kind of like suffocating, dude. He kind of like drains me. Yeah, I don't want him to. Yeah, don't invite that guy, man. He's just too much. So if you're not invited to something, no worries, bro. Just take a step back, do your own thing. There's nothing to be offended about, nothing to take personal. The more you do take things personal and get offended, that just makes you even the more unlikable. So you gotta kind of play this game smart. If you want people to like you, then just the more chill you gotta be. Number 8, be present. Most men these days, most people in general are just not present. You go out anywhere, go to Starbucks, go out to a restaurant, look at couples that are on dates. Just like this, not even talking to each other. So the best thing you can do is have just a stronger presence, a stronger personality. When you're out and about, the most masculine thing you can do is be present. Whether you're with your friends, whether you're with your girl, whether you are just meeting someone for the first time, be present, bro. Be aware. Don't be constantly distracted by this thing right here. And then to add another layer on top of that, when you're conversing with somebody, you put that phone away. You don't take it out. You look at them in the eyes, you nod, you converse with them. Try sometimes even finishing. If you can finish someone's sentence, that just shows right there, that confirms that you're genuinely listening, right? Because you can't finish someone's sentence if you're not actually listening. Most people today, they're either just not present, they're thinking about something else, or they're thinking about what they want to say in response. They're trying to like top your story or something like that. So if you really want to be respected, you really want people to set you apart, the best way to make yourself known is to make them feel known, to make them feel important. Give them your time and attention, my brother. This is in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You do this, you make them feel valued and important. It'll take you so far in life, mainly because nobody else does this. Like 99% of other people don't do this. So by you just making this one move, it puts you in that 1 percentile. And the 9th and final one is, when you have wronged someone, always apologize and say you're sorry. Saying you're sorry, showing that humility is the most powerful thing you will ever do, especially not just as a man, but as a husband, as a father. If your kids can see that their father has integrity, if he has humility, bro, that'll do the opposite of what most people think. Most people think, oh, I can't show anybody my weaknesses. No, by doing that, by trying to hide all your weaknesses, that in return makes you seem more weak. But the more that you showcase your shortcomings, the more that you apologize for your wrongs, especially if you've hurt someone, this right here, this creates such a safe place for you and that person, especially for your family members, especially for those closest to you. If you want to create a tight-knit family, if you really want to create an empire that's strong, that's solid, that's on rock, you need to know when to apologize and say you're sorry. All the divorces you see, all the broken families, all it is just ego. It's nobody wanting to apologize and say that they're sorry because they're waiting for the other person to do it first. And whenever you do that, whenever you take that route, oh, I'm not going to say sorry till she says she's sorry. Bro, that right there, that is the secret ingredient to make a marriage fail, to break apart a family, is to let your ego get in the way and not be able to apologize. It says right here, I have it pulled up, Luke 14:11, for everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. You want to be exalted in life? You want to go to that next level? You want everything in your life to be fruitful, your marriage, your business, your relationships. You want to have a fruitful, prosperous life? Be humble. Be humble. Remember, the first will be last and the last will be first, my brother. So I hope this video spoke to you today. If it did, please give it a nice big thumbs up. Hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop a new one. And hey, check out this video right here. It's a powerful one. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.